Hello friends, this is Dr. Amit Ahuja, Assistant Professor from University School of Education, Guru Gobind Singh Indrapratha University, Delhi. Friends, we are living in an age which has witnessed an exponential hike in knowledge since last 2 years, that is in 3 times in ratio to whatever was discovered or available with us since centuries. What was the reason for that? Because of sciences? Yes, it was so. But the fundamental question is that how does science work? Let us find it out, explore, discuss. Science works through its nature. Yes, the nature of science is something different from rest of the academic subject. It's not a question, matter of discipline of mere retrieval or imparting instruction. It's also a way of exploring knowledge or that arriving at that matter by certain means or the ways. What are those? Are an inherent, inseparable part of its nature, that is process approach. Unfortunately, we unduly overemphasize its product nature. That is, we just go on dumping the information, facts, principle for examination purpose only. But do you remember, science is beyond that. Science is not just a discipline, science is a way of living that is to be explored through its nature, that's its process as well as product. Product aspects of sciences emphasize that it's a body of knowledge. It has certain laws, theories, facts that constitute science as a science. What is process? Process means the scientists have devised, invented, explored, discovered, added on certain body of knowledge, means, etc. How does my learner can be equated with a scientist to work on that? However, not to that extent, but on that path. That is, he she may realize the spirit of finding that, the way of finding that product that scientists have done it. That is, putting the learners in a state of scientist for a moment, for a while, for a day, is facilitated through the process approach of science. That is, means of acquiring that body of knowledge through activities, experiments, and practicals. Through activities, we bring science out of laboratory, that is in classroom and in nature. For example, to see the solubility of certain solvents, for example, water, benzene, uh, or any other solvent like carbon disulfide, etc., and their property of solubility with respect to certain solutes can be explored in classroom also. Experiment means we go ahead from known to unknown, that is determining the strength of certain complicated salts, more salts, etc. Practical means verifying the existing ones, for example, to plot a graph between the effect of temperature on, on the pressure and vice versa with respect to volume, etc. So all these practicing trends refer to the process nature of science. Science, by working through its process as well as product nature, helps in inculcating a scientific attitude in a person. What's an attitude? What's an aptitude? Aptitude means the mental disposition of something, that is, it's something cognitive in nature, it's latent, implicit. But scientific attitude or attitude means a way of looking life, but scientific attitude means an individual's outlook towards life with rationality. He does not view the thing accepted as set, unquestioned. He views the things with reason because the things have reasons to happen. Why it's happening so? What's the reason behind that? Why it is not happening so? What's the reason behind that? That's scientific attitude. That is spirit of scientific attitude. A person having scientific attitude has open-mindedness. That means does not adhere to the things firmly, yes, that I'm always right, I'm the only person who is right. No, I may be wrong. Please punctuate me. Please teach me. Please educate me in the sense what's right or what's wrong. Because if unnecessary, forceful adherence to certain aspects closes the way for progress or growth or development. So the person is open for criticism also. Please let me know what's wrong in that. how it can be enriched over a period of time is the spirit of this being open-minded. Objective decision making means that universal acceptance of the process. That means if it suits me, let it be. No, it should suit all, because science works for all. Science does not work for specified ones. Critical thinking. Yes. First of all, it requires that the person must be able to comprehend the things around himself or herself. Then, at the same time, must be able to find out the gaps and, if possible, feasible, the plausible ways to fill that gaps must be practiced. So that's a critical thinking. Then after that, there must be desire for knowledge, for new knowledge, for up-to-datedness. What's happening around me? For example, if a teacher has acquired degree and got the job, employment and teaching the class and confined up to the textbooks only because it suits the children, and questions are asked in the examination from this book, and is not ready or willing to accept something new, not ready to read the things, does not have time and so on, does not inculcate the scientific attitude among them also, and over the period of time it comes down. So if a definite structure of content is there in the classroom, but if the teacher is know the latest happenings, trends in that field, though not a part of curriculum, but the teacher can update the student also, okay, this is there right now, but what's after that? So that's a desire of knowledge, desire for knowledge, that puts the teacher also in a state of learning, that is an advanced learner by virtue of his wisdom and cognition. Then person with scientific attitude has confidence in procedures in seeking knowledge, that is, he is not in a shaking state, he is not in a confused state, he is confident what I am doing is right with boldness, because that confidence has been built upon through previous researches, review of related literature, formulation of hypothesis and observation. Then the person has a tendency to use scientific method, that means person is regular, well organized in his deeds, is not haphazard, random, that is moves from one step to second to third to fourth to fifth and so on, now to first, eighth, seventh, ninth, third, that's being random. Also the person is logical in his approach, uses logic, that means is not working in fiction, not working with respect to certain ideas or pre-notions, works with objectivity and logic, and has belief that solution of some problem is there, that every problem is solvable. So do remember, from this perspective we should consider only those problems which have solutions, or there are certain means available with us to solve that problem. For example, who were the person on this earth who started that this is 111, date 1, month 1 and year 1, and it's 12 a.m. midnight, and the clock starts right now, and it's continuing till now, till date, even till this, up to this hour also. So who are those people? There are no means to know them, so science does not consider such problems. Like what happens to an individual after death? So if some people have become alive again after their death, that is experiences near death they cite, so such matter can be explored with respect to some autobiographical kind of thing, but not through sciences, because whatever they cite, that has influenced by the way of life they have been living previously. Science does not consider this thing as such, because it's not objective, it's subjective. So science does not take into account of this, because there are no means to verify what happens to an individual after death. So science does not take such problem, it takes only such problems which are solvable, and there are definite ways or means to probe this, explore this and find solution of this. And this solution finding of some problem will be through some verified knowledge, because if I am getting this solution, that it has definite some resource also that has been accepted by community of scientists. Then after that, science works through scientific method. So what does that scientific method comprise? It has problem, yes, because it's the initial process that leads to the start of scientific method. For what I need to be logical, for what I need to be systematic and approach, that is problem. As said previously, problem must be solvable, and must be verifiable through reliable source of knowledge. But the key feature for a problem to a problem is that it must disturb us in some positive way, because if it doesn't disturb us, it's problem. And do remember, there are certain aspects which are not problem, which cannot be solved, but they need addressal. Then do remember, then it's an issue, it's not a problem. So problems are solved, issues are addressed, like women empowerment, uh, conflict between two nations. These are issues, these are addressed with respect to contemporary scenario. But problem has a definite and beginning and an ending. Then scientific method must be dominated by logic. What logic is? Logic says that again things have reasons to happen, and there is one plausible reason, one and only one plausible reason for that, and there is a definite way of arriving at that finding. For example, I say in sodium atom, its atomic mass is 23, atomic number is 11. How many number of neutrons are there? Atomic number refers to the sum of proton plus neutron, that is nucleon. And atomic number is the number of positively charged constituents, that is protons. But unfortunately, unknowingly or knowingly, people cite it as a number of electrons. No, that means in an electrically neutral atom, the number of protons and number of electrons are equal. So if I know the number of electrons, I can deduce the number of protons, that is atomic number also. So the question was, how many number of neutrons are there? So that is atomic mass minus atomic number gives me the number of protons, because atomic mass is proton plus neutron, atomic number is sum of protons. So proton plus neutron minus protons, that is cancellation of both the positive and negative protons, gives me the number of neutrons, that is 23 minus 11, that is 12. So 12 is the number of neutron. Was there any other way of deducing the number of neutron? No, only this was feasible. Because I had two things in my hand, I need to deduce the another one. So that's logic. Systematization, as I said, one step is followed by another in an organized manner. It does not take place in a tidbits manner, but in a linked manner. One step is linked with other. So scientific method has a problem, logic, and systematization. Individual equipped with scientific method has organized tendency to explore, is very systematic, is very focused in his approach to finding the solution, and has decision making tendency, is not confused, is not in a perturbed state, but has definite way of doing that thing, is very clear, is very conscious, and is very objective in his deeds, and believes in cause and effect relationship, in the sense that if things are happening so, what's the cause of that? If the things are happening so, what could be the effect of that? So there is a relation between cause and effect, does not view the things in isolation or in fabricated manner. Individual with scientific method has ability to discriminate between fact and fiction. Yes, it's not a fiction, it's a fact, and yes, it's a fact, it's not a fiction. That means fact. The earth rotates around the sun, it's a fact. But what's fiction then? That is, sun rises in the east and sets in the west. So if earth rotates around the sun, then how, and sun is fixed in solar system, then how does sun rises and sets? You can see in certain movies, cinema, and in certain day-to-day life we say so, sun has risen, sun is setting, etc. So all this fictionary attitude is coming from, however, from our cultural aspects also, because they were not scientifically oriented. Otherwise, if said in a factual manner, we will say that earth is rotating around the sun. Now it's the beginning of the day, it's the ending of the day, because earth rotates on its axis also. So let's summarize now what we have discussed so far. Science works through its nature. That's product as well as process. Science is a product as well as process. Product means all the content, concepts associated with that. Process means the ways of exploring them. Process approach puts the learner in a state of investigation, helps in popularizing the sciences amongst the student also. Science leads to development of scientific attitude amongst learner also. Scientific aptitude means mental disposition of something. Scientific attitude means bringing that mental disposition into behavior. Person with scientific attitude uses scientific method, that is logical in his approach, methodological in his approach, is open-minded, free from biases, etc., and contributes toward the welfare of the society by being objective and able to have faith, practice cause and effect relationship. Thank you very much.